Alright, sorry about that. This is Mad Dog 2001, and as you can, I went to a house show in Madison, Wisconsin, which was about an hour and a half from here. I really wanted to get tickets for the Raw that's going to be in Milwaukee, which is a lot closer to where I live, but couldn't get those tickets, so I had to settle for a house show, which actually ended up being not that bad. I mean, we got there, it was 4 o'clock. The show started at 7:30, so we got there pretty early. And it was freezing cold out. It was like 15 degrees. And we were, I was sick too during the whole time. So it was even worse for that. We were waiting for the wrestlers to arrive. We were like watching the back. It was at the Elegant Emergency Coliseum or something like that, which is something big in Madison, but the whole thing was, it was in a gymnasium, so it was a pretty small arena for the most part. We went to the back to watch wrestlers arrive. I didn't see anyone. If we were there like a couple minutes earlier, the guy was telling me that DH arrived, which was like, oh, who cares a shit about him, right? So we went inside to warm up, and then a limousine pulled up and ended up being Triple H and Shawn Michaels, so we missed them arriving. Went back outside to see if we could see anyone else. No one else showed up, so I mean, at least during that time. And he's like, the guy was like saying, you missed it, man. You missed Triple H, you missed Shawn Michaels, you missed like 4 referees in Umaga. It's like, oh well. Just wanted to see them arrive. So when we got in, it started off, I mean, for a house show, those have never been to it, it's like, it feels like it's a rip-off version of Raw or something like that, where there's no pyro, there's no Titantron, at least the one that we were at. It starts off with Super Crazy versus Charlie Haas, and, you know, I haven't seen Charlie Haas in ages. I didn't know he was still at the company, and my bet was when Super Crazy came out, I was like, said to my friend, I was like, Super Crazy's gonna lose, he's a jobber, and he ends up beating Charlie Haas, which the match was pretty boring for the most part, but the crowd kinda got into it. Next match was Val Venus versus DH, which was pretty cool because, you know, I haven't seen Val Venus in a long time. What the hell? I haven't seen Val Venus in a long time, besides, you know, jobbing on Raw. And I don't watch Heat, so that's probably the main reason. But DH comes out and starts picking a fight with some guy in the crowd, and Val Venus is like, gets on the mic and he's like, I don't know if you should be doing that, because I'm sure that guy in the crowd can kick your ass. So the match starts, and Val Venus, DH takes the upper hand and pretty much kicking the crap out of Val. The crowd was chanting to DH, who are you, because no one knew who he was. Val Venus wins with the money shot, and it was an okay match. I mean, for two guys that no one really cares about. Then William Regal comes out, which was really weird. He was dressed in wrestling attire. I was like, hey, we're going to see the general manager wrestle. And I'm a Regal mark. I like Regal. But he comes out, starts insulting Wisconsin, which I was all for, because it's like, he's right. It's like, what kind of idiots would live up here in the cold? It's like, get me out of here, right? I hate the cold weather. And then, of course, Mr. Kennedy comes out. Big pop for him. I mean, we all went crazy for Mr. Kennedy, or Ken Kennedy. Comes out saying, because William Regal said previously, like, oh, if you have to be mental and you have to be retarded to live in Wisconsin. And of course Regal got booed for that. Mr. Kennedy was like, well, I'm not retarded, I'm not mental, but I'm about to go mental on your ass. And so Kennedy was definitely the face in this match. And they worked on Kennedy injuring his hand, and I mean his leg, and for the most part Regal dominated. Regal looked really strong in this match, and Kennedy wins with his finisher move, not the mic check, but that other one. Then DX comes out. Huge pop for them, because that's who everyone came to see, was Generation X, basically. They come down, entrance was like close to, it seemed like 10 minutes long, and then I was like, who are they gonna face? I was like, I said to my friend, I was like, the only other people they're going to be facing is Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch, and that's who it was. I don't know, do they even have a tag name? I know they used to a long time ago. I don't know if they even go by that anymore. But for the most part, they made Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch look pretty decent. I mean, the match was pretty long. They made them look like fools in the beginning. They pulled down their trunks. So, I mean, got to see a little bit too much of Trevor Murdoch. But basically, he gets his trunks back up and he falls out of the ring and then he accidentally pulls them down. You could totally tell it was fake, but anyways, Triple H gets on the mic and he's like, man, he's like, I didn't mean to do it though, but man, I just couldn't. I saw Shawn do it. I'm like, alright, fine. He pulls down, he pulled down the trunks and he was like, there was a tattoo there that said Lance Cade was there. So it was pretty funny. And then Triple H, Shawn Michaels obviously win. And then we had a brief intermission. And then they come back with a women's title match, Beth Phoenix versus Mickie James, which was a pretty good match. I mean, these two are really good wrestlers to begin with. They're the only two women's wrestlers in the WWE that can actually put on a really good match, in my opinion. Beth Phoenix wins, of course, with that patented Fisherman suplex. Then we went to Hardcore Holly coming out, which we're like, whatever. And Umaga came out. We all cheered for Umaga for some reason. And Umaga was the best entertainer that showed up at this show because he was loud. We could hear him. I mean, we were in the 12th row, so I mean, we were pretty close for the most part. And Umaga just was loud, obnoxious. It was funny. There was a part where he was up on the top ropes. The referee will count that 5 seconds because that's as long as you have. Umaga starts screaming at the referee. And then, the big bodyguard that's walking around making sure no one jumps the fences. He was screaming at the bodyguard, picking a fight with the bodyguard. I mean, it was funny. Umaga wins. It wasn't a very long match. It was about 7 minutes. The next match was the main event of the evening for the WWE Championship. Randy Orton versus Chris Jericho in a street fight. And for the most, this match was a little disappointing. It was slow, but I can understand it because Randy Orton, he's got a big title match and not too long at WrestleMania, and they don't want to risk huge injury, especially being a street fight. So there was a part where, and Orton was getting, he got booed when he came out, but he was getting cheered when he was in the ring because we wanted him to hit Jericho with the weapons. He threw in like 3 chairs, a trash can, and then he was going to go grab a table. Everyone started cheering, then he left it alone. The referee wouldn't let him bring the table in. Then he went to the other outside and grabbed another table and tried propping it up, but he accidentally broke the table leg. And then he put it up against the ropes and threw Jericho through it, but the table didn't break. So we saw the sawdust fly all over the place, which was pretty cool. And then of course Orton wins cleanly with an RKO. So not that it matters or anything, but so yes, Jericho did get his rematch, and it happened at a house show. So all you Jericho fans that say that he never got his rematch, he got it live in Madison, Wisconsin, a house show that only just a couple thousand people saw. So it wasn't a sold out event. At least all the close seats were sold out. So yeah, it was a fun show. And what else can I say? I can't wait till TNA show comes to Wisconsin. If it comes to Illinois, I'll probably take the trip there because from what I hear, TNA's got the better house shows than WWE, and the show I was at was pretty good to begin with. And you could get up real close, you could touch them if you wanted to, but I was just like, some of the crowd was bummed out because there was no John Cena. I was glad that he wasn't there because there were a lot of little kids there at this place. I was like, man, if John Cena comes out, this place is going to go crazy, and I'm going to have a major headache. Anyways, this is Mad Dog 2001. I hope you guys enjoyed this review.